Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the den. Legacy Internet Radio. Thank y'all, everybody who's been listening to us throughout the night. We appreciate it as we progress through our rants and our closing, our final segment of the night. I want to give everybody an opportunity to say their final words and their salutations and their piece. It's our time for our brother, Mr. 3375, our brother Jay. It's time for you to close it out, brother. What you got, man?
I'm going to close it out with this. Earlier last week, there was supposed to be a meeting that actually supposed to took place today with 100 ministers and to meet with Donald Trump. Actually, it got canceled today because it was so big of an uproar because people wanted to know why these black ministers is going to meet with Donald Trump. And I agree with everybody what they were saying. Why would you endorse a man that doesn't even like, black folks, Asians, or anybody that's not his color? I think they was all in line. And the only reason I think they backed out is because they got caught going. So that's my rant for today. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Mr_3375.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the den. Legacy Internet Radio. It's time for my big sister to grab the mic. Y'all know her as the grown woman.
Wow. I haven't heard my song in a long time.
Yeah, man.
In a long time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, here you go.
So, it was fun tonight. It always is. It always is. But you know what? I'm going to tell y'all something because I always kind of give y'all a little bit of me, a little bit personal about me. So everybody knows I had back surgery. Went to the doctor last Tuesday. Doctor gave me a clean bill of health. Doctor said, well, you know how to find me, Sharon, if you need me. And I said, yes, sir, I do. Went to the therapist the same day. Therapist said, you're looking good. On the 14th, I go for evaluation because I am rocking those exercises like a 17-year-old track star. So, I'm probably going to get a clean bill of health then. So, y'all, my surgery was really good. Really, really good. I'm glad I did it. I am feeling so much better now. So much better. I'm like almost brand new. Haven't had the slightest, back pain, pain from like rehabilitation and stuff like that. Yeah, but back pain, no. So I'm feeling good. Everything is great. I am home. This is great. I love to walk up in here and see faces, and it's just wonderful. It feels good to be back. I'm glad you all are still here. You're still listening. Because, hey, y'all know if y'all not listening, we might as well stop talking. So big shout out to everybody that was, listening to us tonight. DJ, thank you. I know you're chilling with me in my scarf, girl. I know you're chilling. Kaz, thank you. And Kaz, we're going to have a little something to say about you later. Big shout out to my cousin Mark for listening. He was shouting me out. Big shout out to the comedianess, Lissa P, who's also listening. Shout out to your girl. Ow, ow. Come on. Shout outs wouldn't be a shout out without a peace out to Hakeem. I'm done.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. It's time for our brother, Big Robe, to grab the mic, go through his final salutations we like to call the smash. Big Robe, it's time for you to smash her, man.
It's Big Rube. It's a smash. Yeah, we need to talk about a problem here. And it's one of those problems that I would hope would go away, but clearly it hasn't. If anything, it's coming back with full force. And I really feel bad because I feel like that we have not done enough to stop this problem, even though there's so many ways to do it. Ultimately, I think that we as a people, not just black people, white people, as all people, have just decided to ignore it and let our kids suffer. And I don't think that's right to let our kids suffer because, as they say, the children are our future. Let them lead the way. But, real talk, they can't lead the way if they got a bowl cut, yo. It is not right to put a bowl on a kid's head and cut around it and call that a haircut. It's not. You know, some people you don't want to pay the $10 or $12 or $15 to get a real haircut. Look, man, if you gonna do that to your kid, if you literally gonna put a bowl on your kid and be like, yo kid, I love you, I'm just gonna cut your hair around here so I ain't gotta pay for that haircut, just cut it all off, man. I mean, it's not right. It is real disrespectful, you know, because this has been going on for decades. I mean, like, even before me, you know, and unfortunately, at one point in time, I was a victim of this too. And I just had to say, stop. No, I don't want it. I would rather grow my hair into a fro that's so nappy before I get a bowl cut, yo. And I'm at the game last weekend, and I see all these kids, and all they have are bowl cuts, man. Literally, somebody put a bowl on top of their head and cut around. How do I know this? Because little boys should not be having bangs. That's not real. That's not good. And I'm not talking about just the white kids. I'm talking about the black kids, too. You know, it is not cool to cut a line around the top of the ear all the way around and then cut the bottom part off, cut the rest of it off, and say, like, that's a legit cut, yo. All you're doing is hurting the children of our future, because who wants to be seen in public like that? Kids don't have choices, yo. Kids can't say, Mom, Dad, I don't want you to put this bowl on my head and cut the hair. They can't say that because they ain't paying for the haircut. And just because it's free, that don't mean it's right. Parents, don't do this to your kids, man. I mean, I know the day now we see a lot of women who have short hair. Yo, they go to the barbershop, get a haircut. Take your kids to go get a haircut, man. But if you're going to do it yourself, get rid of all of it. Just make it bald, because at least it looks like you tried. It's Big Rube. It's a smash. Yo, stop it. That's what I'm asking, not just for me, but for the kids, man. Just stop it.
Ain't no half step with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Not really sure how I'm supposed to follow that, but glad you smashed them. And kids, don't get bowl cuts. All right. I go through my rants and my closings and my thank yous, but before I do that, I got to give the microphone back to our brother Jay. Jay, you had something that you needed to rejoin the show with?
Yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to Cass, who just received her $20 gift card from First Monday's Trivia Question. So I'd like to give a big shout out to her for participating in the trivia, and the next First Monday, we'll see who will win the next $20 gift card.
And that's First Monday again. It's next Monday. So we'll see what we got. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Let me get my thank yous. And first and foremost, special thank you to our brother King Salim Kalfani. He's the former executive director of the Virginia State Conference NAACP. He's currently the senior consultant and president of Commonwealth Consultation LLC. He has got over 30 years of experience in working with the communities here in Virginia. So much thank you to him. Our sister D, who joined us earlier as well. She's a retired teacher administrator. She's a limousine chauffeur. She works in TV industry. She's a publicist, and she's an alumni of Virginia State University. So much love to her as well. Thank you to the folks who checked in with us, K-Dub, D, Larry, Cass, James, DJ Renee, Melendez, Jay Grizzy, and the First Lady of Legacy Internet Radio, comedian S. Lissa P. Shout out to those folks that have been listening to us in Atlanta, Jersey City, New Jersey, Midlothian, Midlothian, Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. We have folks in the Midwest, in Chicago, Indianapolis, and L.A. Lights were on in those areas as well. So much love to those folks. As we do every single week, we always profile a missing and or exploited child. Tonight is no different. We're looking for Tynesha Marzuk. Tynesha Marzuk has been missing since November 23rd, 2015, from Chesterfield, Virginia. She's a black female, 17 years old. She's got black hair, brown eyes. She stands 5'4", weighs 189 pounds. Last seen on November 23rd, 2015, wearing plaid pajamas with a sweatshirt. If you have seen Tanisha Marzuk, and this photo, by the way, has a photo of her in long braids, extension braids. So check her out if you've seen her. Make sure you contact the National Center for Missing and or Exploited Children on their website, missingkids.com, or contact Chesterfield Police Department at 804-748-1251, or contact them at 1-800-LOST, 1-800-843-5678. At this time, I always like to close out the show with my own rant and my own closing. But before I do that, I also like to remind you guys to support our sponsors, Korean Hair and Beauty, Free Spirit Enterprises, Live Action Captions, JTL, Joseph T. Lewis Insurance. Support our shows. Ain't No Half Step on Marcus J. You're listening to it every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern until Enliven Radio every single Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday night, you've got the Uptown Lounge featuring The Great Debate at 8. You've got All Throttle Radio, the biker show from an urban perspective on Thursday nights. Friday nights, we get you ready for the weekend with the pregame at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Saturday, we replay our shows that you've heard throughout the week, throughout the day, until you hear Deep House Sessions with DJ Renee Melendez. She checked in with us earlier in the show tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday nights, and then the Bob Marley and the Family Reggae Mix all night, playing reggae all night, Saturday going into Sundays with amplified gospel, and then we play music whenever we don't have a show. So we're here 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Ain't No Half Step with Marcus J. It's live right now. It's time for my rant. It's time for my closing. As I have been saying for the last few weeks, that my thing right now, I kind of been giving you in my rants every single week. My biggest thing is group economics. It's imperative that we work together. If we see what's going on in our neighborhoods, you see someone like Laquan McDonald getting killed in the street in Chicago, and the government in that city is covering it up for a whole year, and then overcharging the police officer with first-degree murder. The reality is first-degree murder is premeditated. That was not premeditated murder, so I have a hard time believing that the jury is going to find him guilty. So please be prepared for the possibility that that guy might walk. You've got right-wing extremists like Robert Deere shooting up Planned Parenthood. You've also got, in this country, right-wing white Christian conservatives as the face of terrorism, and they won't even say it in our country. What are we going to do as black people in this country? We got to do this on our own. We can't expect anybody else to fix our situation. Group economics is imperative. What does that mean? That means that we work together. We put our money together. We do things with each other. We support each other. If I got a business, you support my business. If you've got a business, I'm supporting your business. And so I encourage everyone to go to the website, www.truthfightersministries.com, www.truthfightersministries.com, if you want to be a part of group economics. You know, a lot of people look to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for guidance with regards to how we navigate our way through the United States as black people. One of the things that he does not get a lot of credit for is speaking about economics, group economics. And so as I close, I will share some words that Dr. Martin Luther King said himself in a speech right before he died, the mountaintop speech that he gave in Memphis on April 3rd, 1968. He said, in part, now the other thing we have to do is this: always anchor our external direct action with the power of economic withdrawal. Now, we are poor people. Individually, we are poor people. When you compare us with white society in America, we are poor. Never stop and forget that collectively, that means all of us together, collectively, we are richer than all of the nations in the world, with the exception of 9. Did you ever think about that? After you leave the United States, Soviet Union, Great Britain, West Germany, France, and I could name the others, the American Negro collectively is richer than most nations of the world. We have an annual income of more than $30 billion a year, which is more than all of the exports of the United States and more than the national budget of Canada. Did you know that? The power right here, if we know how to pull it. We don't have to argue with anybody. We don't have to curse and go around acting bad with our words. We don't need any bricks and bottles. We don't need any Molotov cocktails. We just need to go around these stores and to these massive industries in our country and say, God sent us here to say that you are not treating his children right. And we've come here to ask that you make the first item of your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you are not prepared to do that, we have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for the withdrawing of economic support from you. We did that in part this weekend with Black Friday boycott, taking $1.5 billion out of the pockets of those people who wouldn't hire you, so you shouldn't shop with them. Economics, group economics is key. www.truthfightersministries.com. That's the Marcus's unrelated rant that has nothing to do what we've been here talking to you about tonight. It's the end of the show, y'all. We're going to run it back in its entirety. It's long, but we're going to do it anyway. We appreciate everybody who's been checking in with us. We appreciate the love. Shout out to those folks listening to us on TuneIn, Streamer, and listening to the replays on YouTube and on iTunes. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. I want to remind you that independence is the key to building your legacy. Also, I want to say peace to all the stars and all of the squares. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Those are the words of Bob Marley, who you hear singing in the background. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Be back right here live next week. Peace, y'all. Peace.